Closure, Downpour, Shooting Star, Electric Scooter, Matrix, Rejuvenate. It's relearning everything. I mean, it's all there. It's just figuring out how to get it all going again.
What it is, it's an opportunity to really make a pilgrimage to your own center, to this place where God dwells within you. You walk it, you walk in, and at the center then you are there with God who supports you and strengthens you with His love. And then you walk out again and are able to face the challenges of life with new strength and joy. Our labyrinth is modeled after the labyrinth in the cathedral in Chartres in France, which can still be visited today. Since St. Benedict says in his rule, we should keep death before our eyes daily. And so the labyrinth reminds us that ultimately this earthly life is more than those few years that we spend here on this planet. And on the other hand, as we live conscious of having to die at some point, we can live more intensely in the present.
He described it as a beautiful day. It was really warm in September of 2013, and saddled up the horses. There's these little chunks of rock, and the horse just must have stepped on a little rock that completely lost her balance, taking me with her like that, and just kind of. And that's why I ended up with broken bones over here. And I guess there were problems that were discovered over on this side too, because this was the side that hit the ground, and this was the side that the horse landed on me. I was definitely not down here on this earth. I was somewhere out in the universe.
In her wonderful, exciting book, in her memoir, something that touched me right at the beginning was her near-death experience. And I'm sure this was really a getting in touch with the divine reality.
I was around my sister Diane, all my parents, my niece's daughter who passed away the year before, and I mean, it was pretty cool. It was absolutely beautiful and fascinating. I kind of compare it to a Maxfield Parrish painting, incredible colors, bright, brilliant colors, and I don't know, it was definitely not down here. They were going to unplug me because they didn't really see any movement in my brain, encouraging the neurosurgeon that I was starting to come out of the coma. But then somehow, some way, I squeezed his hand. I mean, Nolan told me that, my son. The television was on, and I heard the sound, a person's voice.
On my right is the new Dodge Durango with up to 360 horsepower. On my left is one horse.
I knew the person who was speaking, and I looked up at the TV, and I realized, for some reason, somehow it came back to me that that was Will Ferrell, who I'd worked with on The Other Guys. Whoa! And so that completely triggered that, yeah, I had this whole career before the accident. It's like all these things started flashing back.
Self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Hidalgo.
It's making magic happen, but it's all done through a computer with an incredible team of people. It's a lot of work to put even one shot together. It's like the beginning of a new chapter for me. It's figuring out how to get back to me, because it's not straightforward when you come back from a TBI. There's nothing straightforward about it. And it's really just being in prayer and meditation on what God is guiding me to. And then to actually be at that labyrinth and actually walking it and going right to the center was just like astonishing to me. And then walking back out, which is, if you're kind of focused on just thinking about going outward again, then it was a more kind of circuitous, kind of complex route. Yeah, there's a complex world out there, and I'm not exactly sure exactly the direction I'm gonna go in or the path that's next, but I am ready to, to start new things and start a new chapter.
This experience gives her so much strength and inner clarity as she embarks upon this circuitous and challenging journey of really healing from the traumatic brain injury. And I'm sure she knows that she now has important things still to do in this world.
That's this whole process of like pieces to the puzzle, and this whole recovery is the pieces are together. They're intact. Now it's kind of figuring out what's next.